Good evening. We'll call to order the meeting of the Haverford Township Zoning Hearing Board of Thursday, November 18th, 2021. Present at the front table to my far left is Jessica Vitale, a voting member.
Good evening.
Next to Jessica is Ed McGargy, a voting member. My left, Luke Clark, our solicitor this evening. Far right, Margie Buchanan, our codes guru, who helps us with all administrative matters. Next to Margie is Kelly Kirk, Dean of Zoning in Haverford Township. Jesse Boynton, a voting member.
Good evening.
To my right, Bill Rose, a voting member. And my name is Robert Kane. Bill, before we begin, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Sure. Please rise if you can and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Mr. Wagner. All right, we have one new case this evening. Thanks. One new case this evening. It is Z21-30, Christina LeClaire Svets, owner of 41 Meadows Lane, Haverford, PA, DC folio number 2205-006750, who seeks a variance from the provisions of section 182-202C6A to construct an attached garage that would provide a 12-foot, 4-inch side yard setback where 20 feet is the minimum required, and reduce the required 50-foot side yard aggregate to a total of 37 feet 4 inches. Property is on R1 and located in the 5th Ward. Hi, you're Christina, right? Come on up. How are you?
Good, thanks.
So we have your zoning packet, but to the extent we're going to refer to any of the things that were attached to the packet, they need to be marked as exhibits. And you guys, you were here before, so you may not remember, but that's just the protocol. So which of these attachments to your application do you think you need to refer to? You have a plot plan, some renderings.
Probably.
You
Oh,
wanna
you
go,
have them?
Help her pick out which exhibits. All right, so Luke's going to come over and help you.
Okay.
Pre-marked exhibits. Thanks, Luke.
We've got your petition, all right. Now, in terms of the exhibits, this is the notice and this is a standard form.
Okay.
For all the applicants, this is our code. I don't think you need that.
Okay.
You've got your deed, so that'll be, that should probably be applicant 1.
Okay.
And then these are your renderings.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, so those will be applicant 2. This is your code sections. It's going to be applicant 3,
The plans.
applicant 4, and 5.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have, we have these, do you have these to reference?
No.
No?
Oh,
You
I'm
don't?
sorry.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yes.
All right.
You want to
Do you
identify?
want me to identify them for the record? All right. So, the exhibits in support of their petition. Applicant 1 is the deed. The renderings. After the deed in our packet would be applicant 2.
Is that a 2-pager? Or is that-
Two pages, yes. The code section that they supplied. We'll take that as applicant 3. And then we've got hold on, sorry, we've got the site plan, applicant 4. And then the second site plan, applicant 5.
So we'll admit exhibits A1 through A5 into the record. So Christina, tell us a little bit about what you would like to do.
Okay, so,
Thanks, Arlene. Sorry about that. Trying to go too fast. Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And your full name and address for the record, please?
Christina Svets Leclerc, current address is 108 Tunbridge Road, Haverford, PA. Tunbridge, T-U-N, Bridge Road, Haverford.
All right, go ahead.
No worries. Well, first, thank you all for taking the time to meet tonight. We bought the property on 41 Meadows, hopefully to stay in the neighborhood. Currently, the house does not have a garage. It's been turned into a bonus room, so to speak. Our main concern was even if it did have a working garage, it's a very hard garage to turn into and pull out of. So we were hoping to add a one-car garage. And we hired our architect who submitted the drawings. I had a brief conversation with our neighbors, and we just explained to them that our goal is to obviously add value to our house, which would add value to the neighborhood. I'm not looking to do anything that's going to be an eyesore or not conducive to the neighborhood. We felt that this one-car garage would look nice and appear nice and work and, be able to get it we measured my car, we measured with the doors open, we did the bare minimum that we thought would work for everyone. And I guess that's basically it,
Question? Jessica?
So I noticed as part of this work, you're doing another addition out the back where the covered porch is.
Yes.
Was any consideration given to putting the garage in the rear of the house coupled
Yes.
with that addition?
We did consider that. The problem with doing that, it would be detached, and it would not allow us to do the addition, give us the master suite that we were hoping to get above the garage area. A detached garage would be wonderful. I just personally thought it was getting too costly, and I always like pulling into my garage and being able to access the house without going outside.
Did you think about putting it, I guess I was thinking more where your basement family room is, directly behind that, as if you extended the
So
addition where the
attached.
porch is? Yeah, attached.
We didn't really go through those ideas. I think maybe John could speak more on that.
Can I be sworn in to speak, please?
Well,
Just to help
would it be a smoother flow for everybody to ask Christina their questions and then, so remember that.
Okay.
What you want to say, I'll call you up.
Okay.
Go ahead, Christina.
I don't have any other questions.
Ed?
So to just answer your question, we thought we'd get through this process first, and then do we have a plan B and C, maybe perhaps in our minds, but nothing on paper.
Okay, got it.
But it was considered.
Thank you.
Ed?
So one of the requirements is trying to prove that you have a hardship that doesn't, and I haven't heard you mention what the hardship is, why you have to have this variance.
I guess that is probably the one point of view that I really didn't define as, well, what do you define as a hardship?
Oh, yeah, so you're asking him to, so you're asking him to give you a legal definition, a legal conclusion. It's the board members are going to hear your testimony, and they're going to determine whether it meets the standard.
Okay. Well, I can't speak of a hardship, so that is probably the one, I'm not really sure what the township defines as a hardship. I just know that what my point is of having a garage is just for my own safety. But other than that, no, there's no hardship.
Okay, thank you.
Bill?
So let me just follow that line a little bit. Your existing house, is that largely just going to get torn down or renovated in place? What is the plan? Are you going to, is this just appending the garage and then the renovations are to use the existing building?
Yes,
Okay. And so the existing building is currently built to the very limits on the sides of your building envelope, is that right?
correct.
Okay. And the idea is that you're not changing the footprint of the house other than potentially this garage, and that you're going to build and renovate over that existing footprint?
Correct.
And that under the building setback requirements, any movement in any direction to the sides would require variance, is that right?
Yes.
I don't have any other questions for now.
Okay.
Thanks.
Jesse?
Yes. So I believe you mentioned that you live in the neighborhood and you're trying to stay in the neighborhood?
Yes.
So you plan to occupy and live in this house?
Yes.
And so you'll no longer be on Tunbridge? You plan
Well,
to move?
We'll probably rent. We have rented that house out in the past, and that's what we hope to continue to do.
Okay, so you're going to continue to own your current house and you're going to move, but you plan to move your whole family into this proposed house?
Yes. Well, we're empty nesters, so
Right.
hopefully it's just us.
Okay. And I think my other questions have been answered or asked already, and I'll probably have questions for the architect. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. You want to come up? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And your full name and capacity?
John Hertz, H-O-E-R-T-Z, J2H Designs Architectural Firm. H-O-E-R-T-Z. Oh, J2H Designs.
And you're the architect, John?
Yes.
Okay. So, you have something you'd like to say first?
Yeah, can I kind of follow down the questions
sure.
that just went?
And
So-
can I just ask one?
Yes.
Just two questions. I always ask, you have an active license, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you are not subject to any censure or discipline or anything
No.
like that? Okay, thank you.
To Ms. Vitale's question, the screened-in porch is already there on a concrete slab, so we've just decided to claim that and probably expand and redo the kitchen. So it's sort of an addition, but not really. The footprint, the building coverage is already there. For Mr. McGargy's question, hardship, depending on what the municipal planning code says, I think without having done any definitive surveys or anything, just visual inspection driving up and down Meadows Lane, I feel one of our hardship is that we have one of the narrowest lots in the neighborhood. It's 100 feet wide, and that is the minimum allowed. Like I said, I don't know if other people have that or not, but our lot's pretty narrow. It's as narrow as it can be. That Christina and her husband are going to move into this home. They're going to live there. We did this garage to what I consider to be the minimum common sense size for a garage, to pull your car in there, to be able to get out either door and to come down. We have a ton of room in the front of the house. The house is really set way back off the street. as far as the required setbacks are. So we're good there. We're putting it on the driveway. We're not really adding much impervious, maybe 300 square feet just to redo the driveway a little bit to access this garage. It's a front-load garage. And I'm not sure how well things would work putting it on the back left-hand corner of the house. One of the issues with the existing setup is that it's really tight to turn into what at one time was the garage. And I don't think going backwards would really alleviate that issue for anybody, because everything's pretty parallel. We're right on the line on both sides. There's a ton of room back there, but I don't know that putting the garage there would be a practical place as far as access on a daily basis.
And Jessica, do you have a question?
I don't.
Ed?
When you say it's right on the line, don't you have the required setback now? So isn't that 20 feet at least?
Yes, yes.
So it's not an 8 setback, right?
No, right. Yeah, wouldn't infringe on the rear setback, and, I mean, to put it there, theoretically, you'd have to put it right on the 20-foot line that's there now. And anybody that has a driveway knows that a 20-foot turntable is difficult at best to get in and out of.
And a standalone garage wouldn't have to have that setback, right?
No, I mean, I'm not sure exactly of the code, but I think the detached garage can be, I want to say 5 feet from the side line,
Okay.
which would really hammer the setback.
Gotcha. No other questions?
Bill?
Yeah, hi, so, couple questions. So, as presented, are you gonna move the driveway a little bit? Because the garage, if it's a straight-in pull, I think what the existing driveway on A4 would show is that you're gonna have to expand the driveway anyway
Yes,
to get in.
yes. My guess is about 300 square feet total.
And the applicant would effectively, or correct me if I'm wrong, have to back all the way out the driveway to get out?
Yeah, you'd have to back one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either
right.
in or
Exactly.
out.
Yep. And then, you know, if you did locate it behind the house, attached, so it still could connect to the master bedroom as depicted on A5, you could create, you'd have to remove that wall that's depicted on A4.
Yes, there's a small retaining
Okay.
wall.
And there's a bold line that runs along the paved walkway behind the house that runs all the way to the back of the property. Is that a
Can I see?
gradient contour? There's no, I didn't see a,
Wood.
oh, that's wooded. Okay, I got it. Got it, okay.
I had the same question.
And so if you did, I mean, you could have it so that you came in that driveway, did a 90-degree in, and then you could create a little space beyond that garage where you could pull out, back out, and then drive out. So you wouldn't have to back in or out either direction, correct?
Yeah, probably, yes.
And did you look at the turning radiuses in a 25-foot setback? If you built that garage right to the setback edge and attached it to the house and connected, a two-story garage, just like being asked for.
Well, it's a 20-foot setback.
Well, this says 20, the building
think-
coverage line, which tracks exactly the edges of the house, are depicted as 25.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. You're
Yeah,
right.
that's okay. So I'm just thinking about a 25-foot turning radius to make a
Right.
90-degree turn in and then back out, turn and go. Obviously, when you back out, it's even easier to cut a turning radius than it is going forward.
Right.
I'm just wondering if that actually might not solve all the problems, and I think that would be an as-of-right development.
Yeah, I think something like that would be by right.
Yeah.
It would mess with the design a little bit of the master suite because it would become very long and narrow, but again, it could be there. I still think usually if I have the room on a plan, I try and do 30 to 35 feet as a turntable. So this, once again, would be pretty narrow, I feel.
Yeah, as someone who lives nearby, I can tell you with that 90-degree turn into a garage, it can be tight.
It's tight.
Right,
Right.
yeah. But a lot better than backing out onto a road with traffic. I know Meadows doesn't have a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say Meadows does not appear to me to be a high-volume area.
I just wanted to figure out if you thought about it and looked at that, because in theory, it's an alternative that would
Right,
still allow, because if you do a detached garage, you're limited to one floor, right?
right, and we're going to end up being 5 feet from the property line,
Yeah, which is.
which is worse than what we're asking for
Right,
now.
all over here, there's a couple options, and some of them have a few trade-offs, but I
Right.
just wanted to figure out if you'd considered them all.
No, I mean, we kind of went with our wish list first.
Okay, I don't have any other questions, thank you, but.
Okay.
Jesse?
As it turns out, my colleagues have asked all my questions, so I had the same observations. I believe that, yeah, off the back by right might be more appropriate in this case.
You do understand what I was talking about? By
Yes.
putting it on the back,
Yeah, putting it
Yeah.
off the back of that.
right, if this, I just literally, I just drew it there, right? Okay,
Yeah, I'm not sure that house plans would work out.
no doubt, in A5, you'd have to move some of this around a little bit. Yeah, I got it. Right.
If I may ask a question, just to weed out any other potential zoning issues.
I'm sorry.
If I may ask a question, just to weed out any other potential zoning issues that this may cause, other than the variance that you're seeking. With this garage, is there an additional 9 by 18 parking space that is independently able to maneuver a vehicle?
No, there would be no,
So you would also need a variance for the off-street parking regulations at
I mean,
that
you
point.
could park one in the garage and one in front of the garage.
They need to be independently able to maneuver,
Oh,
which is what you.
I did not realize that.
What it appears to already be there, looks to be about 25 feet wide by about 25 by 25 in that macadam area now, which would be 2 independently
Right.
spaced vehicles.
Side by
Or
side.
off-street parking spaces. By putting in this, this addition, you would no longer have that,
I mean-
creating a nonconformity.
We could do that, because my understanding is paving can go right to the property line. So we have 12'4" between what we're asking for and the setback line. So we could put another 12-foot wide parking space beside this new garage.
Well, I think what she's saying
And
is then you,
qualify for that.
I think she's saying is you'd block the garage, and so you'd have to extend the driveway forward anyway to create that separate spot for separate maneuverability. You'd have to push the driveway up a little further past the wall anyway.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Let me come back up.
That's okay. I think what she's saying is not parked here, but probably parked here. So this car can get out and that car can get out.
Yeah, but I mean, well, again, somebody's already.
I drew that, yeah.
Right, so this car would come in and go that way, and this car could go this way. I mean, theoretically, we could make sure that this new piece of driveway was accommodating enough that even if you didn't pull into the garage, the car parked on the side could still back in or pull in, you know, one way or the other, without having the vehicles interfere. And we could show that on the plot plan, you know, when we applied for the permit.
Any other question? Jessica?
No.
Ed?
And no other question.
Bill?
No other questions?
Jesse? Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add, John?
No, I don't think so. I think we're sort of going by the 5 points that the municipal code says to go by. Our only hardship is the width of the lot, but we're, as Christine said, what we're doing is, you know, compatible to the neighborhood. There's nothing there that would be bad for the neighborhood. It would improve the value of the house. It would, you know, the goal is to make it look like it came with the house, so aesthetically, there would be no issues there. You know, I'm hoping you agree.
Well, I think the hardship question will be the most difficult to grapple, because just it's basic concept of a hardship, a need versus a want, right?
Right.
Like everybody would come in and say, I want this, I want that, and then you don't have really variance requirements.
Right.
So a hardship's a basic element. So when there's alternatives, other places things could be put to meet the same needs, then
Right, understood.
it's difficult, you know. But, all right, let's hear, I see some neighbors here. This is the only case, so they must be here for this. Let's hear what they have to say. So, with that, I'll ask, is there anyone present that received certified mail that wishes to testify in this case?
I got my, you should go, I got the thing, but I couldn't pick it up because the post office was closed.
That's okay. Believe me, everybody's allowed to talk at these
I have my
hearings.
slip, but.
You don't need a slip. Come forward. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I
And
do.
your full name and address for the record, please?
Stephen with a PH, Stern, Stern, 45 Meadows Lane, Haverford. You wanna come
And
up
what would
here?
you like to tell us tonight?
Okay, so we also like to thank the zoning board for this opportunity to respond to the variance application. And despite having very little time to react to the application because we did not receive notification by mail and only learned about today's hearing by seeing a sign posted on the lawn yesterday. We've given a lot of thought to the situation. We're looking forward to having Ms. Svets and her family as our neighbor. This is kind of a difficult decision for us, and we're kind of torn by it, but I think ultimately we came to the conclusion that we had to object to granting the variance. We're not aware of any unique physical circumstances or conditions with respect to the land that could create any hardship. The lot is relatively flat, rectangular, and approximately 1¼ acres. That lot is approximately the same size and shape as our property is. The current distance from the house, yeah, we're at 45 Meadows Lane, so it's right next door. The current distance from the house, 41 Meadows, to the property line is about 25 feet. And the requested variance reduces that to approximately 12.5 feet. That's a very significant request. Because there are no extenuating circumstances, physical, related to the physical condition, I guess we don't see any reason why the property can't be modified under existing zoning regulations. Looking at other alternatives. Granting of the variance would, we think, alter the character of the block and potentially impair our adjacent property with respect to possible water runoff and resale value. We believe the house will be beautiful, but we feel that the addition of the two-story garage bedroom addition is simply too close to our house. If I may? May I? Of the property.
Luke's going to ask you a couple
Certainly.
questions.
Yes, sir. And, sir, could you tell us who took these pictures?
My wife and I took the pictures.
Who took the pictures? All right. And they are in fact an accurate representation of what's contained therein?
Yes,
They haven't been doctored or anything like that?
no.
The one you're looking at is.
Why don't we identify?
Yeah,
We have to do this.
yeah, so we're gonna,
Be
so we can
protesting.
probably make one exhibit, because
Okay,
they're all photos taken by the same person.
make them
Have them on my
P1.
camera.
Okay, yeah, P1,
Okay. So these photos collectively are being marked Exhibit P1, P standing for protestant. So do you need these back, Mr. Stern?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, while they may not be the best photography, I think you can see from the pictures that the houses on Meadows Lanes are substantially far apart, typically 50 feet apart or more, which means that the setbacks are at least 25 feet. Ours, along with our new neighbor, would be the only houses on the block that would be in close proximity if the variance was granted. So also, I'd just like to point out, if I may, as you look at the photographs, including our house, that all of the split levels, that the garages are all configured the same, and that the garages are on the side of the house. And that at 41 Meadows Lane, that there was a garage there that the previous owner, I guess, converted to alternate living space. So I guess as I sat and listened to some of the board's questions about the garage, I guess I would just ask, there is a possibility to turn that space back into a garage. Those garages are oversized, so I guess we have a different opinion in terms of the ease for pulling in and out of the garage. My wife pulls out of the garage all the time. And I guess that's all. Is there anything I missed?
I have to probably.
Okay. I don't know. I think that's all I have to say. Unless there's something you want me to add?
Do you guys want to see these? Sure. You're allowed. Any questions for Mr. Stern? Jessica?
Well, wait.
Yeah, just a question. The one photograph showed you standing in the driveway
Right.
with measurement grafted onto the photograph. Is it your assertion that your house is 25-foot setback from property line?
Our house is 25 feet from the property line, yes.
Thank you. That's what I just wanted to hear.
Jesse?
How long have you been residents at your current home?
My wife has been living there for about 30 years. We're married 2 years, so I've been living there about 2 years or so.
Okay. Are you going to
Yeah,
speak?
she can,
Well, she'll have to be sworn in, so
Okay.
I can wait and ask her.
Wait, Mrs. Stern, what? Bill,
I don't
question?
have any questions, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
And
okay.
neither do I. So, Mrs. Stern, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
And your full name and address for the record, please?
Nancy Selling, 45 Meadows Lane, Haverford. Oh, take this off, sorry. Nancy Selling, 45 Meadows Lane, Haverford. Selling, like you're selling something.
Okay, and what would you like to tell us?
Thank you for hearing us, and I'm looking forward to our neighbors. We have I don't know if this factors into it all, we kind of have a very unique situation on our property. The split levels change direction between our house and our neighbor's house. So on one side of our house, on the other side, is a driveway, which you'll see on the photo, attaches the other driveway. So we don't have any extra green space. This is it. I mean, so that's, our property is the same size as the Svet's property. It's just that we have the driveway on one side. And you'll see it. So it makes our property, I guess, unique in itself.
Jessica?
No questions.
Ed?
No questions.
Jesse?
How long have you been at the current residence?
We bought the house in 1987, July 87, or July 87.
So over 30 years.
It's like 33 years, yeah.
And do you happen to recall previous owners of the subject property using the garage?
Of the property next door? Yeah, so what they did was, the door's still there, but what they did was, inside they divided it in half. So if you go into the first, I don't know if it's half or a quarter, they made it into a tool, I don't know what it's now, but they made it into a tool, like a tool office or whatever. And behind that, they turned it into a bedroom for one of their sons. So the garage is there, but, so the garage accesses, like, it accesses the tool area, but into the, I don't know how they got into the bedroom, whether they had to go through the den or, I don't know how that worked. Don't remember.
And you, I believe your husband mentioned you use your garage and it's the same configuration as the Svet's house.
Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of, the garages are like all 1.5 car. They're a little bit shy of 2 cars.
And you have no problem getting in and out of your garage?
No, I mean, the thing that makes it hard for me is my neighbor's garage driveway is right next to mine, so I have to make sure not to get their car. But I don't have a problem getting out. I mean, the neighbor, we all have the same, that I'm aware of we all have the same configuration.
So when looking at your house, the garage is also on the left, the driveway and the garage is also on the left?
When looking at my house, my garage is on the right.
On the right, so it's a mirror.
Right.
Your house is a mirror of...
So my house mirrors the one on the, let's see, we're 45, mirrors 49 Meadows. It mirrors 49 Meadows.
Okay. Is there a fence between the houses? 41 and 45?
40, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a fence is there, yeah.
I don't have any other questions, thank you.
And it's on the property, it's right between,
Bill, do you have a question?
Just give me 1 second, I'm just looking here. So where it shows the property line on this, hand-drawn, this is on P1, on the second picture, showing the protestant in the driveway?
Yes.
Okay, with to 41 Meadows.
No. Oh, no.
Okay.
This is 41, right. We're 45, we're on the left.
Okay, so you're standing on the applicant's driveway
Yeah,
in this one?
Right.
Okay.
At what
And
corner?
our driveway there's one where there's 2 driveways next to each other.
Okay. And this is the same, taken from just inside your fence, looking at the applicant's house. And that's the existing garage door that's been converted. And Ms. Selling, is this what you were referring to? It's photo numbered 38. Well, it's the photo on the 4th page. It shows an array of driveways and homes, which are numbered based on their house number. Is that right?
That's correct. Those numbers represent.
And so your driveway is on the side of 38 Meadows.
No.
No, that's across the street, okay.
Driveway is on the side. 49.
So here, 45 and 40.
That's our.
Okay, so the very last photo in the lower right corner on the last page, it shows your driveway essentially with a very thin grass median separating number 49 from your house at 45, is that right?
And we're 50 feet.
And those houses are 50 feet apart, okay. Yep. I have no other questions for now. But thank you for the photo. That's a. Just to see if you.
It's all right, take your time.
Oh, no, I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions or comments about the photos? You want to testify? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And your full name and,
John LeClaire. My address?
yes.
108 Tunbridge Road, Haverford, Pennsylvania.
What would you like to tell us, John?
I just want to speak on behalf of, I'm Tina's husband, so I'm a part of this side of the deal, and I just want to talk a little bit about the driveway itself. I mean, everybody's got great ideas, and, you know, there's lots of things you can do if money's not an issue. So we're trying to do something that's most cost constructive before, you know, when we're talking about putting the garage on. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, but I'm 99.9% sure there's other houses that aren't splits in the neighborhood that have driveways straight up. We can solve the problem easily with 2 cars between the car there and then the car between that large fence that they have for the driveway, so the zoning. It's a huge difference between what they're talking about backing out compared to what we back out into. I'm not sure what they drive for a car, but my wife has an SUV, and it makes it difficult. So, you know, the other solutions too is the detached. I don't think that's gonna make anybody happy. And, I mean, lastly, you know, you saw the fence from our side, and you saw the fence from their side. That's a large fence. If we were able to put the garage the way we want to, I don't think they would notice. Plus, we plan on landscaping also because of that large fence that we have to look at when we step out our door. Like I said, I mean, everybody has different levels of hardship. I mean, you know, we'll survive if we don't get it. It's not that kind of a hardship, but it does make life difficult.
Question, Jessica? No. Ed?
No question.
Jesse?
Nothing.
Bill? All right, thanks, John.
Thanks.
Okay, anything else you'd like to add? No? John?
No, I think we've covered it.
Okay. You want to testify now? Come on up.
My name
Please raise
is,
your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes,
And your full name and address, please?
Chelsea Black, and I live at 37 Meadows Lane.
And what would you like to tell us, Chelsea?
First, I'm so excited that you guys are going to be living there, and I'm on the other side of their new property, and I just wanted to kind of come as a neighbor and kind of support these guys. You know, I think the house designs look incredibly beautiful, and the side that's on our side looks incredible, but I also think that if I was in the same situation, I would also feel that that was really close to our side. So I did want to just come and kind of, you know, say that I understand that, and I am kind of in agreement with that. If I was in the same position, I would feel the same way.
Okay, questions, Jessica?
No.
Ed?
No questions.
Jesse? Bill?
Just one. So, being a resident on the street, we heard testimony from the other neighbors about the general spacing of houses on Meadows. Are you aware of other houses that have sheds or garages or whatever that sit in front of the driveway or over the driveway or are close to a property line or within 25 feet of a property line? Or do you see consistent separation of homes on the street at about 50 feet?
Yeah, I'd say they're all pretty far spaced apart.
Fairly consistent. I really
Yeah, I'd say consistent or even like larger. Like I'm thinking, I don't know Heather's last name. You guys know Heather down the street. Like they have a garage at the back of their driveway, but there's a very like a much larger distance between their house and the next house. I don't know where the property line is, but
attached garage or detached?
I think it's attached to the house, but it's like set back and it's very far from the property line.
Okay, no other questions. Thank you.
So, Mr. Stern, I have one question for you about the photo of number 9 Meadows. What is that in front of it?
Like
Is it a shed or?
no, it's not a garage.
Okay. All right, thank you. Yeah. It looked kind of big, yeah, a shed, so. All right, but if we take 2 and then we'll wrap this up. All right, we're gonna take a 2-minute break. Off the record. Okay. Any other residents of Haverford Township that wish to testify? No? With that, and is there anything else you guys want to add before I close the record? No? Okay. With that, we'll close the record on this case, and the decision will be rendered either this evening. In the event we're not able to render a decision this evening, a decision will be rendered at our next regularly scheduled meeting on, anybody have the date?
December 2nd.
Is it? December 2nd. All right. That's it. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Well,
You can call the codes off tomorrow
or when, on December 2nd, whichever we do it.
or tonight. We're going to try to do it.
Yeah.
Give us a call tomorrow. We'll let you know if they made a decision tonight or if they'll make a decision on the 2nd.
All right, now, it doesn't matter. You can give her yours, give her, yeah. They'll go to Kelly because they're already marked. We already admitted them. You marked them, right? All right. And we're going to break to go to executive session now to discuss a legal matter, and then we'll reconvene and most likely do a decision in the case that we just heard. So with that, we are in recess or in executive session. All right. With respect to case Z21-30, Jesse, are you prepared to vote?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Jess?
Yes.
Bill? You're the
Yeah.
5th ward guy on the board, so you want to take that decision?
So I will, with respect to case Z21-30, I would vote to deny the requested relief.
Jesse?
I concur.
Jessica?
I agree.
Ed?
I agree.
And I. So that application's denied 5-0.
Welcome.
Are we done our executive session, or is there a need to have further discussions?
I would like to go back in on the same legal matter that we've been talking about.
Okay. Then we'll go off the record again. All right, we'll reconvene the meeting of Haverford Township Zoning Hearing Board. We just concluded an executive session regarding a legal matter, and now we are prepared to adjourn. Luke, do we have to make any other disclosure?
Nope, that's sufficient.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, Jeff.